Hey, it's Joe Amoia, founder and creator of GPSforlove.com. Today, we're going to talk about one of the most painful subjects that we could possibly talk about in GPS for Love, and that is being cheated on. I recently received an email from one of our members who said, Joe, I recently discovered some screenshots of my boyfriend naked Skyping with another girl that he knew. He swears that it isn't cheating, but that he will never do it again and that he's sorry and wants to make things better between us. I really need some good advice. Well, you asked for it, so you got it. And it's not Toyota. What we're going to talk about today is, first of all, to define this thing called cheating. Because, let's face it, this guy is cheating. So what I did is I went right to Webster's dictionary and said, okay, well, let's define this thing cheating, because we all can interpret it and make it come out to whatever way we want it to be. So Webster says cheating is the practice of fraud or trickery, to violate rules dishonestly, and to be sexually unfaithful. So according to all three of these, this dude is guilty. Okay, he's cheating. Now, let me tell you, I've been a guy for 48 years. I've cheated in my past when I was in my early 20s. I've been cheated on, so I know both sides of this spectrum. But the reality is, cheating is cheating. When you're dishonest, whether it's naked Skyping or the physical act, it's cheating. So let's be honest, this isn't this Bill Clinton, I didn't have sex with that woman. If you're in a relationship with someone and you're doing shit with somebody else that you shouldn't be doing and you're not being honest with it, with that person and yourself, it's cheating. So this is something I want you to realize. Remember, there's a difference between a boy and a man. So the first thing we need to understand is that cheating violates trust. Without trust in a relationship, you have no relationship. So the fact that this guy went and cheated on you, or the fact that a man goes on and cheats on you for whatever reason, even if he feels it's justified, then you know what? That's not cool, and you can't build and sustain a relationship off of that. So I just said something that you're going to, I know some of you are going to start, emailing me back, it's never justified. Well, I agree with you. It is never justified. It's always the wrong thing to do. But in some boys' world, if they're not getting their needs met, and I don't just mean sexually, I mean emotionally, if they're with a woman who's emasculating them, who's constantly putting them down, who's constantly telling them that they're not making enough money, that they suck, or whatever it is, eventually those guys' self-esteem, their self-worth takes a huge hit. And so if woman comes along willing to pay attention to them, then you know what? They jump into bed, not just for the sexual intimacy, because there's something missing in a relationship. That's an unhealthy way of resolving a problem. And it's something that women do as well. If they're not getting the attention from their husband, they're not getting the intimacy, they're not getting the excitement that they had when they first dating, then ultimately, if another guy comes along and pays that woman attention, she's going to jump and she's going to cheat. So you got to understand that cheating is simply being dishonest. The problem with most people and with this guy is he's not being honest with himself. Okay? And if a guy can't be honest with himself, then guess what? He can't be honest with you. See, the real problem here is, why is this guy naked Skyping with somebody else? That's the real problem. That's the real issue. If the guy wants to do that, then he shouldn't be in a relationship. That's not how it works. And if you're a woman and some guy is doing something with somebody else and he's not making you feel like you're a priority, then you know what? He's the wrong person. A couple of months ago, I had to meet a friend of mine who's a female, a colleague, and we met in the city, and we actually met at a hotel because it's, I live in New Jersey. She actually lives in New York, and it had a great common meeting area, a lounge where you could hang out, and my wife drove me to the train station, and, and we were kind of joking about it because, like, what woman would drive her man to a train station to go meet a single woman at a hotel in New York? But see, the reason my wife does that is because she knows at the end of the day, I'm coming home. And so you need to be with a man that you can trust, that isn't going to cheat you. And I'm not saying, look at me, how wonderful I am, because there's a lot of good dudes out there who have no problem being faithful, being monogamous with the right woman. And that's what you need to learn. You need to be that right woman and pick a guy and show him that this shit doesn't work. So the bottom line is that, look, why did you do this? Okay, so here's the advice part. Why did you do this? Okay, and I guarantee if he's a boy, he's going to come with some bullshit excuse. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. No, bullshit, you did mean it, okay? Because you weren't just sitting around and Skype popped up and your pants fell to the floor, okay? It's not how it happens. I hear this all the time. It just happened. Bullshit, it didn't just happen. You did something to make it happen, and you could have did something to stop it, okay? He could have said, you know what, this isn't right. I'm in a relationship with someone that I really care about. This isn't the way to treat a woman. Okay, but again, this guy's probably a boy, and so not someone that you can build a relationship. I'm not saying you can have a relationship with boys. They're going to be the toilet bowl relationship. It's going to feel like crap because you're going to be constantly looking over your shoulder. You're going to be constantly questioning, and that's the thing. Can you get over cheating? Absolutely. But my philosophy is that if a guy shows you, especially in the beginning, that he's a cheater, pick up your shit and move on, because as the old expression goes, once a cheater, always a cheater. Can people change? But yeah, he's got to do the work. He's got to explore why he cheated. And he's got to look at that. And then he's got to cop to it. He's got to be honest. And he's got to communicate with you. And he's got to overcome all those things that led him to cheat in the first place. And that takes work. And a lot of guys, a lot of boys simply aren't willing to do that. They're willing to blame everybody and everything, from his girlfriend to, well, you showed up late one night, you didn't call. He's going to project it and put it onto you. It's not a way to build a happy and fulfilling relationship. So, the whole purpose of today is to simply define what cheating is. It's simply being dishonest. And then secondly, to decide if you want to overcome that. And my philosophy is that, look, if you've been in a relationship for years and you've got kids and there's reason that led a guy to do that or led a wife to do that, and you want to work on getting it back and get to the core reason of why someone cheated, then I would say, okay, but realize that it's going to be a long road, and it's often a painful road because you got to face shit that most people don't want to face and work on. But if you're in the beginning and someone, within the first couple of years, okay, and you don't have kids and all that, and someone starts cheating, my philosophy is simply move on. You deserve better than that. And once you stand and you respect yourself enough and you show guys that, look, this doesn't work, you pull that crap, that's on you, I deserve better, it might cause you to make a painful decision, but in the long run, you're going to feel so good about it because in your heart and your gut, you deserve better. So I know this is a painful area, but it's something that you need to talk about, something you need to be aware of, and you need to be crystal clear on. So I want to hear from you. Have you ever been cheated on? Did you go back to that guy? Did it work out? Did it not work out? Please share, because I guarantee you there are lots of members of our community who've been cheated on, or maybe they're going through something like this now and they're wondering if they should go back. So help them learn by sharing your experience. And if you have any other questions or comments or feedback, feel free to post them in the comment section below. As always, it's an honor and privilege to be with you. We'll see you next time. Much love.